Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Zombicide unboxing. This is for another set of the classic or original Zombicide, as opposed to 2.0, the new modern. We are going, so we're going to kind of show some of the differences here. This is for the Fugitive pack, as said in the description. So when you actually buy the Fugitive pack, you get this super attractive, this big brown box that has Zombicide Fugitive pack in it. Now, one big reason I want to point this out is for anyone that does the newer Kickstarters and they get them stretch goals, which are like, oh, it's the box for all the stretch goals. And people are like, why is that a stretch goal thing? This is why. Because this is how stuff used to come. And then even in there, so in this particular stretch goal box, we got Survivor Set number 2. Number 1 was a separate thing. And then we got a bunch of miniatures, which now here's zombie miniatures just came in. Another brown box in there. And then 2 sets of dice that were loose in the box as well. So this is definitely one thing where people are like, oh, why do we have this fancy box? Because now they've gotten to the point where they started putting everything, all the stretch goals in one box. The original classic Zombicide games for the first 3 seasons didn't have those. Everything was scattered into 2-3 boxes. Some of the early Black Plague, Green Horde stuff was like that too. They're scattered into 2-3 different boxes. Sometimes like every individual figure was in different boxes. So they started just grouping everything together better. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we actually have in the Fugitive box. Now, you can, watch when you're buying this to make sure if you're purchasing this online that you are picking up the full set that has both the extra zombie miniatures. So if we actually crack this open, we'll take a closer look at these guys in just a moment. If I can get this box open. So this will have a tray of zombies. So make sure you're getting this tray of zombies and set 2 plus the dice. I mean, if you're not really worried about the dice, that's here or there, but because you can buy set 2 by itself, and you can sometimes buy those zombies by themselves, because some people will part this box out. So make sure if you read Fugitive pack that you know if you're getting one or the other, or both. Just so that you don't end up picking up the one and then not being able to find the other bunch. Alright, so what we have here, we first of all have the dice. We have a set of red dice and a set of orange dice. I'm not going to pull these out of the pack, but they have like, kind of like the gunshot wounds for your pips. On the one side, we'll always have a zombie face, which, ooh, that's bad. And on the 6s, we have dynamite, or not dynamite, it's probably a Molotov, which is the little symbol inside the Zombicide logo, for the eye there, which is always good. And these just replace your standard 6-sided dice. Do they work any better? Do they do anything different? Have extra rolls? Absolutely not. They're just meant to be a little bit more thematic dice. So yeah, you want to pick up some different colors. So you have some other different colors. One for one player, one for the other. Just have something a little bit neater. That's cool. And then we're going to look at our zombie miniatures first. So here we're going to have a pack that's going to have 3 types of zombies in there. So we're going to have the gray ones, which are your standard zombies, which come in some of the different base games. These look like they might kind of be from all over a little bit. Then we have our green ones, which are toxic ones, which come from Toxic City Mall, which is the expansion that came out with this set, Season 2. And then we have the orange ones, which are your Berserkers, which came in Prison Outbreak, which is the base set for Season 2. Yes, these are pretty cool. They're just lots of different ones. The Abominations are all the exact same. We get 1 of each new Abomination. I believe all these other guys, I think they're all just duplicates for extra stuff. Now, some of these are not the same exact ones that are in the core sets. I think most of these are alternate models, but they're ones that were available in the box of zombies. Let me see if I have one of those boxes sitting here. Of course, I never have one in reach when I need one. But yeah, we have kind of like the set 2. We do have some that are like sets 4 and 5, which are just zombies, and they will have additional extra zombies in them. Alright, so I just did a quick double check to figure out where all these come from. So each one of these are part of the alternate sculpts for the box of zombie sets that came out. So we have sets 2, 3, and 4. So for set 3 here, we have this set came with 3 alternate ones. So these are the ones for the base game. These are exclusive to this box, or they're in the Fugitive packs. You get your brute or fatty, and we get 2 of the different walkers. So we get 2 sculpts of the woman, 2 of the man, plus the 1 brute. Same thing for the toxic one. We're going to get in the set number 2. We will get our new brute, and then we'll get our 2 different walkers, 2 of the men, 2 of the women. For both of those sets, we also get a different sculpt for each one of the 2 different runners that would be in the base game of them. And then for set number 4, Walk of the Dead 2, we have the new Brute and 2 new Walkers. Now we get the 2 new copies of the Brute, and then we get 4 of each of the different Walkers. And then we get more of the classic ones because they're going to appear more often. And then we get 2 of this runner and 2 of that runner, which are from the Prison Outbreak set. And then get 1 of each of the 3 different abominations. So yeah, this is just to help you. If you want to pick up this Fugitive pack, this is to help you get a lot more of each type of zombie. There were no extra cards that came with this. So these are just additional zombies. If you want the extra cards to be able to mix and match all of these with everything else, either you're going to have the classic stuff, either you have to buy these boxes, or you'll have to buy the base sets to play with them. Or if you have the reboot set, and you have the reboot pack for 2.0 with the additional spawn cards, you could pick this up and you at least have a couple of these guys to play with. It's not going to be enough Toxic or Berserkers to integrate 100% into the game, but at least it is a way to be able to utilize them. Let's go ahead and take looks at each one of these guys a little up closer. So here is our... camera's a big of an angle there. So here's our first walker. We just did a shambling man in a suit. Nothing too terribly fancy, but still fun to have. Our other new sculpt of a walker, again, these are sculpts outside if you just owned the base game. So we get a guy just in a suit. Or not a suit, but he has like a regular dress shirt on, but like it's kind of cool. It's like ripped open. And you get 4 of each of them. We have from Prison Outbreak, we have the 2 new runners. We have the female runner, or jogger. She's a runner type, but she is a jogging model. She's out for a little stroll. And you got 2 of that copy, and then we got 2 of the gentlemen. Which is pretty neat. He's ripping his shirt open. I don't know why. Just finished the race, and he's celebrating as he's turning into a zombie. I'm not sure. That's going to be a pain to paint. In the toxic one, if you're not familiar with how toxic zombies work, is when they are defeated, they release a poison cloud, which does 1 damage to all survivors in their zone. So basically, you need to take them out with ranged damage. It's the simple rules of it. If you hit them up melee, you can still defeat them. They'll just explode and you'll take a point of damage. Shoot them at a range, you don't have to worry about it. So we do have 2 of this girl. Looks like she's probably like a beach goer. So she's wearing a little bikini and some very short shorts, some sunglasses, and we have 2 copies of her. And then we have 2 copies of this guy who's wearing a vest, and of course being toxic, they're all bubbly and spiky. It's a very shredded vest there. Then we get 1 of each of the sculpts of the runners from that set. In case we just need some more runners. Punk kid hanging out at the mall. the other punk kid hanging out the mall. This one has his tank top on and his hat in his back pocket. It's just kind of cool. He's got a bandana on. We also have one copy of the Brute, or again, as it used to be referred to as Fatties. Guy's probably hanging out at the food court. Has a soda in his hand. Or I ate too much Taco Bell, I'm going to explode. That's what he says. We forgot to look at the bigger lady here. For the regular Brutes, she's like a mom. Hanging out. Got a little purse there. Cool. Then we have our Berserkers. So Berserkers are kind of the opposite of the Toxic. These guys cannot be hurt by any ranged attack, unless it's a point blank shot. If you have a gun that lets you do point blank, or an ability. Otherwise, yeah, they can't be hurt by range. You have to come up and mid them. So the toxic green ones, you want to shoot at a distance so they don't explode. These guys, you have to run up and take out. They will literally just block all ranged attacks from hitting anybody else. So here, yeah, we have two different sculpts for inmates, which is kind of cool if you want some different inmates that they didn't have. They again like have big pulsing parts on them. And we get one more copy of the new Berserker. And this guy's ready to throw down. He's like, you came into my prison. Like this, kind of ribs showing. And then we have the 3 abominations, which are the same as the other ones, but it's not bad to have some extra abominations out. Plus, also, the fun thing is having multiple abominations means that if you're painting these, you can paint them in different colors. You can have, like, them wearing different colored outfits, or different skin tones. So that way you could have some alternate options than just the one. Ow, this guy's really sharp and pointy, and he stabbed me. So yeah, the toxic guys get really spiky and bubbly. Even more spiky and bubbly than more spiky, but even more bubbly. That little goo pockets on them. It's got some big old meaty hooks on them too. And when they become bigger, their jaws start to hang out. And then finally we have the Berserker one. So another inmate. His hair is one has a big giant claw, but he has, yeah, a lot more spiky armor as opposed to like bubbling pustules. Awesome. So those are the different zombies we're going to get in the Fugitive pack. Then the other thing we're going to have in here is we're going to have set 2 of the Survivors and Zombivers. So set 1 is another different collection you could have purchased. But this set 2, again, it is sold sometimes sold separately. So you might, if you don't care about the dice, you don't care about the extra zombie miniatures, but you want more Survivors, you could probably just pick this up separately. So I'm going to do a quick pause to pull these out of the box, and then we'll see who we all have here. I was wrong. I said there was no cards for the zombies. There are a few in here. I accidentally must have put them in the Survivor box just so they didn't get lost. But it's not enough to play the game. So if you bought a core set, you'd be able to use the regular zombies. But if you didn't have Prison Outbreak or one of the box of zombie cards, you had enough cards, you really wouldn't be able to use these guys effectively. So here's for like traditional zombies. We have Time to Kick Some Butt. And it's card number 121. I'm just going to kind of flip through them fast. You can pause if you like to look at them a little bit better. Just so we can kind of get through the rest of these characters, because it's just showing what they summon at each level. Then we have some called Just When You Thought It Couldn't Get Any Worse. They get some extra activations for walkers. We get 2 for them, 1 for the fatties, and 1 for the runners. And then we get 2 copies of Sewers located on a tile. At least one character will spawn some zombies. So these are for our traditional guys. And then for the toxic, we are going to get Bite Me. So this is going to summon something. Now you can see it's going to summon 3 walkers from here. And since there's only 4 walkers in the box, or sorry, 3 runners, and there's only 2 runners in the box, obviously this card wouldn't even work. And the same thing, we have 4 and 4. So if you played one of these, you wouldn't be able to summon any more of these guys. Or if we get this one where it wants 7, there's not 7 in there. You'd have to literally have another set of miniatures to be able to even use this card. But yeah, so here's how for all the summons, all our toxic guys. And then I don't think any of them, and none of these summon the Abomination. They only summon the up to a Brute level. Because again, these just should be extra cards so that way more of these guys can come out. And then we have some for the Berserkers as well. And again, none of these will summon the Abomination out. So if you play with just these and you toss them in, you're not going to have enough to summon all of them, nor will you ever summon that Abomination. Alright, then let's head into our characters. So we're going to look at the old school character sheets from Classic, because these are what come with them. The modern reboot set should have mostly the same information. Sometimes it's a little bit different. But, of course, this being stretch goal characters, unlike our newer sets where they're all in one box, they're kind of spread out here. So we're going to get a couple here, a couple there, in each of these different videos. This is Bragg. Bragg is supposed to be Clint Eastwood from movies like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Not that. Dirty Harry. Wrong one. That's a Western. He's supposed to be Dirty Harry. Here is his miniature. And of course, this is back when they all came in different colors. But yeah, just straight up, he's got that little scowl on his face. He's just ready to, make my day. I love that his miniature has his card his gun even more up like that than the picture does. Alright, so he started with a 44 Magnum, which is a really nice thing. Now, again, this doesn't come in this box set, so if you just pick this up to mix and match it with a different base game that didn't have the 44, you can always substitute a different gun if you needed to. In orange, he has +1 free range action and Lucky. Lucky lets you reroll any of your dice during an action. In red, he has +1 damage for ranged, +1 die roll for combat or steadied hand. Steadied hand lets him choose his targets, not shoot survivors when he is shooting into a zone. He still has to follow priority, but he can opt to not shoot survivors. I believe that's what that was. Yeah, can ignore other survivors and is choosing when he uses a ranged attack or drives a car. Still does not apply for ranged weapons, killing everything. So he still has to follow all the other priorities of taking out walkers and brutes before runners, for example. But he can opt to just make sure he doesn't accidentally shoot another human. Then on the opposite side, we have the Zombicide. So these are always the fun ones. So like if your survivor dies, they can come back as a Zombicide, has more health, a little bit different abilities, and a new zombie miniature. Or you can always opt to start the game with these if you would choose to. So here he is. His thing is kind of slumped over. Everything's tattered, but he still got his trusty old Magnum. So his zombie skills are... Still starts with this 44 Magnum. Then he has... So now the yellow action gets replaced on the Zombicide. So instead of a free action to do anything, now it's specifically only to a ranged action. So you can't use it for regular combat, can't use it to move, open doors, get in cars. So you can only do ranged actions. In orange, he keeps Lucky. He gains Reaper ranged, which Reaper will elect him every time he takes out if he takes out a zombie of one type, he gets a free kill on that other type of zombie. So if you defeat one walker, you get another free walker. You take out a runner, you get to take out a second runner for free. In orange, +1 damage for range. Extra damage is always nice. +1 die roll for combat or bloodlust combat. So bloodlust is going to say he can move up to spend 1 action to move up to 2 zones to a zone containing at least 1 zombie, and he gains 1 free combat action. So yeah, it lets him just spend 1 action to combine his move and attack. Although being a ranged character, that's kind of interesting because that means he's not to move in, he's not to shoot zombies in a different zone. Unless he has a gun that lets him shoot at 0 range, which the Magnum probably does. Cool. Alright, our next survivor in this pack is good old Ralph. So Ralph is Tallahassee from Zombieland, or Woody Harrelson. So he just starts a steady hand. So guys, miniature before we jump into there. So he gets this dark blue one. A little bit harder to see. Of course, Woody Harrelson, lots of people will be from Zombieland. Some other movies like that. You know, if you're old school, you might remember him, of course, from Cheers, or maybe even White Men Can't Jump. Of course, now he's been in a bunch of other stuff. Tons of other stuff, so it's not like he's only been in a handful of movies. Alright, so yeah, he starts a steady hand. In orange, he gains 1 free ranged action and Lifesaver. Lifesaver lets you perform a free action to pull a survivor from an adjacent zone that contains a zombie into your zone. Helps get your allies out of the way. Keeps them, you know, so if they finished up attacking and they didn't kill everything, you can pull them back into your zone. Or if they were in a zone at the beginning of the round and zombies had moved into their zone, you can pull them back out so your ranged characters are going to be back farther to shoot. In red, +1 die for combat, +1 dice roll for combat, or shove. Shove is almost kind of the opposite of Lifesaver. Instead of pulling a survivor to you, you push all the zombies out to a different range. This can again work the same way, kind of, as you can either use it to like get zombies out at the end of your turn, or at the beginning of your turn if they just moved. But you can also use it to set up some good combos. Push them into another zone with another bunch of zombies, then throw a Molotov and take out 2 groups at once. Shove guys around a corner so they can no longer see you. Like you shove them in there, then you can move down. Now they can't see you, so they're going to look for noise instead of looking for active line of sight. Some good combos there. Cool. Then if we flip him to his zombie side, he drops his gun for a baseball bat. So get his miniature. There's darker guys are a little bit harder to see. He still got his big old hat on. Alright, so what is Ralph doing here? He keeps his steady hand. But in yellow now he has 1 free ranged action. Lifesaver and Reaper range. So now he can do the Reaper ability at range distance. Interesting, he has still ranged actions while he's holding a baseball bat. I guess he keeps throwing it and picking it up, maybe. +1 die roll for combat, Blitz, and Shove. If you haven't seen Blitz yet, it is each time a survivor kills the last zombie in his zone, he gets 1 free move action to use immediately. So this is kind of nice. So that way, it just, if you take out the last guy, you automatically get a free move to get ready to take out the next one. Or, again, you can always use it the other direction. There's a group of zombies where you were, you took out the last one, and you're doing range stuff. You can always move back to prep for the next turn when all the zombies move forward 1 space towards you. And then now you're already in shooting range, or you're out of their walking range. So very cool there. Our next one up is we have a lovely lady. We have Rose. Rose is Angela Lansbury, or why can't I think of the other name? She's from Murder, She Wrote. Angela Lansbury is the actor, and the name of the character is, I forgot. It's not coming to me for whatever reason. it will. But yeah, look, she had a giant flamethrower, so it's, older lady with a giant flamethrower, which is always a fun little interesting sight to see. So she starts with the flamethrower, which is always nice. You're going to give a picture of a flamethrower, at least give them the weapon to start with. +1 action in orange Bloodlust for combat. So she does get the Bloodlust ability, but again, now this can be used for melee or ranged. Then she also has Medic, which is a really fun thing to give. So once per turn, a survivor can freely move one wounded card and survivor in the same zone may also heal themselves. So healing characters are really great to have. In Rag 1 free ranged action, Born Leader and Steady Hand. This is the third character with Steady Hand. Is that going to be a commonality amongst all of these? Maybe. Born Leader says during the survivor's turn, they may give one free action to another survivor to use as he pleases. This action must be used during the recipient's next turn or it is lost. So that's a really helpful ability too. If they're near, you can give it to them so they get an extra attack, maybe an extra move to get closer to the door or the exit if they need it to. Like late in the game, it can let your guy that maybe stayed back and help clean up stuff catch back up quicker. Let you open the door and give them an extra movement right in if they can get their objective, so maybe a guy can get in and out quicker. Again, extra attacks. It's never bad to give someone an extra action. So yeah, that's awesome. Then we have the Zombicide. Wait, she's all burnt up now. That's pretty fun. So there's her miniature. This one actually doesn't start showing smoke. It kind of looks like she's just on fire. I mean, you can paint it as smoke if you're going to paint it, or you can paint it as flames. Like she's running out. She's playing with a flamethrower and she set herself on fire. Alright. So, there we have. Starts with flamethrower again. But now this is different. Instead of getting an attack action, she gets a free search action. Doesn't kind of show up like the detective side, but I'm surprised the other side didn't have that. Then in orange she has Blitz and Bloodlust Combat, and in red she has Born Leader, Steady Hand, and Frenzy Combat. Frenzy says they gain +1 die per wound, and since Zombivers have 5 health instead of 2, Frenzy's really helpful. They just gain more and more damage every time they do stuff. Alright. That was our first 3. Her character name was Jessica Fletcher. Alright, I had to look that up because that was going to drive me nuts. Alright, our next character, and I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce his name. Thisa? So this is Bridget Fonda in Point of No Return as Maggie in that movie. Not familiar with that movie very much, so I can't say for sure on that. But hey, we get a lady in an evening gown. Definitely looks like some sort of spy, maybe, or just, she was there. She's packing in case. But it's definitely a good switch up from your standard survivors, which are guys like all in rugged gear, backpacks, pockets. Yeah, I just love the additional design. She's a little tiny pistol there. She's got a little tiny one there. Yeah, well, even with Rose, it was a different design versus, again, we're out in the middle of the thing. It's just kind of hey, zombies attacked, this is what these people were wearing. And not everybody was, geared up with, combat equipment. So she gets 1 free search action to begin with. So lets you get find stuff quicker. In orange, she has 1 free range action and Destiny. Destiny says once per turn, when she reveals an equipment card, they drew, ignoring discard a card and draw another. So along with that free search action, it helps them find stuff a lot easier. In red, +1 die roll for combat, Born Leader, and Webbing. Webbing lets them use any cards that are in their reserve as if they're in their reserve, or backpack as if they're in their hand. So the fact that she's searching, finding extra stuff just to kind of pick and choose, she can really find dual weapons, find Molotovs quicker, find stuff for your other teammates, so you can switch around quick, which is cool. If we flip to the Zombivor version, she trades her little guns for double knives. I always like when they do that. They switch to a completely different style weapon. But yeah, our dress is all torn and tattered. It's got some double blades there. Very, very cool. Alright, so she keeps her +1 free search action. But then she gains a free melee action instead of her just regular +1. In orange, she has Destiny and Frenzy Combat. So she gets more damage per every die for every damage she has. In red, +1 die roll for combat. Is that all you've got? And webbing. Is that all you've got? Says use the skill anytime a survivor is about to get wounded. Discard 1 equipment card for each wound to negate that wound. So this is kind of very helpful when she gets the free search actions. Again, she can find more items. And then she can opt to get rid of them to stay alive quicker if she needs to. So there's a very cool thing. Then our last survivor and last thing for this video is Kirk. And Kirk is Steven Seagal. I don't know if he's supposed to be from a particular role or not. I get this supposed to be Steven Seagal, and it's kind of mean that they picked the bulkier version of him, because he wasn't always that way. It's more of a recent or later in his career thing. But I don't know where these guys always find katanas. I've said this before, but I don't get it. Alright, let's look at what he looks like there. There he is, and he just is like, shirt hanging out with his big old katana. Oh, the dual-handed instead of, wielding it one hand, doing it Bushido type style, or you might say samurai style. So he gets +1 damage for melee. That's going to make him a threat. The fact that right off the bat, he has 1 extra damage for any of his melee attacks. And then when he gets to orange, he gets a free melee action, and he gets slippery. Slippery lets him move out of zones of zombies without paying the additional cost. Which is kind of funny, makes him kind of ninja stealth-like. I'd say it's funny because they made him a fatter guy, but he gets extra movement, so that doesn't matter. Then in orange or red, he has +1 free combat action, +1 die roll for combat, and toxic immunity. Toxic immunity, I don't even know if that's listed in this book. Oh yeah, is immune to toxic blood spray from the Toxic City Mall set. So this isn't gonna work in every game, so it's gonna be more if you're playing with the Toxic City Mall stuff. That's actually really great, because he can just run up and be melee attacking these guys and letting them explode, because it doesn't hurt him. So that's a really neat way to make a character specified for that, but he has enough other actions that if you're not playing with that, he still is very useful. Then we have his Zombicide, which he got all tattered up. Now he went single-handed combat. But yeah, you get a lot more. Yeah, he's hunched over. Pant leg got ripped open. But some of the flesh on his face got tore off as well. So, alright, what does our Kirk have for us as a zombie? He has his damage, his extra melee damage, but he gets 1 free melee right off the bat. And that's kind of moves over to orange, so he loses it there, but he has Bloodlust, melee, and Slippery. With Bloodlust means he can, of course, spend an action to do a move and attack in the same zone, so he wants to get right up next to each other and deal this melee damage. In red, he has +1 die roll for combat, his Frenzy for combat, or Toxic immunity. So he's your melee beast for the set. Yeah, so it's kind of neat, our different survivors for this set. We have a melee character, we have a searching character, couple of ranged characters, and then Rose, which has the flamethrower. She's kind of just it's kind of like a support class there. It's kind of like 1 range, 2 melee, or 2 ranged, 1 melee, 2 kind of support classes. So that's what we have for the Fugitive pack and this set. So are any of these ever required or expected to get? Nope. You like more survivors, pick up the Survivor Zombivor pack. Get, 5 more guys to play as. If you need more zombies, you can pick up the other part of the Fugitive pack, get a bunch more extra zombie miniatures. if you couldn't pick up the box of zombies, it at least gives you some extra alternative extra characters that you wouldn't have got. But you can pick up the box of zombies. You get the same guys, you just get more extra ones additionally. Alright, that's what we have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys later. Hit me up in the comments. Bye.